Okay, so I want to talk about what do you do when you plug in a fraction into another fraction, and how do we handle that? So here's an example that's in your homework for 1-1 on evaluating functions. This is the problem where you got f of x equals 1 over x, and then you're plugging in like 1 over 2 or 1 over 10, and how do we handle that? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys something you can include in your notes. Okay, so make sure you go ahead and include a page number here if you're going to add this to your notes, wherever it's at. And so remember, we've got one function. If we're looking at the problem here, that's f1 over x, right? So 1 over x. And then we got some different numbers we're going to plug in. Now, I'm not going to use the same exact inputs from the homework. I want to give you some examples that are just like it so that you can be able to do this on your own. Okay, so let's say we've got So I want to plug in 1 over 4 into 1 over x. Well, let's rewrite the first function so that this kind of makes a little more sense on what you need to do. Well, remember that anytime you have this little fraction line, that means divide, right? So I can rewrite this as 1 divided by x. That's the same thing. So when I plug in the 1 over 4, let's do that. Let's put 1 divided by 1 over 4. And now we got to remember our fraction rules for when we divide a fraction. Good. Well, the first thing is when you divide, you take your second fraction and we do the reciprocal. So basically, we're going to flip it. So reciprocal. Do a little Cornell notes over here. So we're going to flip those right there. And we get 1 and 4 over 1. The second thing we also have to do at the same time is we change the sign. So when we do the reciprocal, then we change it to multiply. Okay, now, again, with multiplication rules for fractions, we multiply across. What I'll do is anytime we have a whole number here, I'm going to put this over a 1, and then we multiply across. So 1 times 4, 4, and then 1 times 1, 1. And so their answer ends up being 4 over 1, which is the same as 4. So I'll write this as f of 1 over 4, or basically the number whenever I plug in 1 over 4 into this function, I'm going to get 4. The other way to write this as a coordinate is I put 1 over 4, comma 4. That's the same thing. Okay, so now let's do another example. Okay, so let's take a look at what was in the homework. So 1 over 10. So let's just pick a bigger, just another denominator. Let's do 12, right? And you guys might notice a pattern here after I do this. So now 1 divided by 1 over 12. Okay, again, first step, going to flip this. So now it's 12 over 1. And I change it to multiply. Okay, put this over 1, multiply across. 1 times 12, 12. 1 times 1, 1, which is equal to 12. So my output's 12. So I'll write that as f of 1 over 12 equals 12. Now notice, look at the input here. It was 1 over 4, then it's 4. 1 over 12, then it's 12. So what this is called a reciprocal function because when you plug in an input, it flips it. So that's the whole point of that, and that's the name. Okay.